Okay, here's a weird one for you. What do a 50-year-old map, an ancient blind spider, and the future of farming in Papua New Guinea all have in common? It sounds like the setup to a strange joke, right? But the answer? Well, it reveals this really powerful story about how understanding our planet's deepest, most hidden past is actually the key to building a better future.
So, where does this whole story begin? Not in the past, but right now. This quote you're seeing is from a research paper from 2024, and it gets right to the heart of a really big modern challenge. How do we improve the lives of people in rural communities? That's the problem we're trying to solve.
And that goal is being put into action through a huge project called the EU STRIT program. You've got the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization leading the charge. It's this massive effort to boost the local economy and create real, lasting change for people in the incredibly diverse Sepik provinces of Papua New Guinea.
But that leads to a massive question. We're talking about Papua New Guinea, one of the most ecologically complex places on the entire planet. You can't just show up and start planting new crops, right? You have to understand the land. I mean, really understand it on a super deep level. So, how do you even begin to do that?
Well, to find the answer, we have to do something a little counterintuitive. We're not going to look forward, we're going to look back. And we're not looking up at the sky, we're looking down at the ground. This is the first piece of our puzzle, a map. But not just any map.
The whole modern approach really boils down to this one key idea: meticulous ecological zoning. Now, what is that? Think of it like creating this incredibly detailed blueprint of the environment. It's about analyzing everything to figure out what can grow where, what areas need protection, and how to work with the land, not against it. It's the bedrock for everything else.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This high-tech 2024 project, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's built on a foundation of scientific work that was done 50 years ago. Yeah, you heard that right. Back in 1974, Australia's National Science Agency created this landmark map of the landforms of Papua New Guinea, and it's still absolutely essential today.
And this is where our story completely pivots and heads underground. Digging back even further, to an academic paper from 1973, we find this one crucial phrase describing the region. The land has karst features. Now, for those of us who aren't geologists, what does that mean? It means caves, sinkholes, underground rivers, a whole hidden world.
So that one little phrase, karst features, just blew the doors open on this whole story. It makes you stop and think, right? If there's this entire unseen world just beneath the surface, what's living down there?
All right, let's go find out. We're leaving the sunny farms behind and we are heading deep, deep underground into a world of absolute permanent darkness to meet whatever lives there. And, believe it or not, our guide is that same scientific journal from 1973.
Okay, to really get what's going on down here, you need to learn one new word. It's troglobite. And this is important. A troglobite isn't just some animal that decided to hang out in a cave for a bit. No, this is a creature that is biologically locked in. It is so adapted to a life of total darkness that it can never leave.
And here is the perfect example. I want you to meet Tartarus mullimullengensis. This is the spider that was on the cover of that 1973 journal. It's a textbook troglobite. Look at it. It's got no eyes, practically no color. It honestly looks more like something from a sci-fi movie. It's a straight-up masterpiece of evolution.
So, how in the world does something like this survive? Well, it's all about making these incredible evolutionary trades. Think about it. Why waste energy making pigment if no one can see you? Why have eyes if there's literally zero light? You don't. Instead, all that energy gets redirected. It's poured into developing these super long, ultra-sensitive legs that basically act like a combination of antenna and ears, feeling out its entire world.
And to really hammer home how extreme this is, just look at this side by side. On the left, you've got a troglophile, that means cave lover. It likes caves, but it still looks like a regular spider. It's got eyes, it could head back to the surface tomorrow if it felt like it. But on the right, that's our true troglobite. Its entire body has been redesigned for the darkness. For this guy, there is no going back. Ever. And this wasn't just a one-off. That 1973 research found the same pattern over and over again in different species. The true troglobites, the ones completely committed to the cave life, they all had the same toolkit, blind, colorless, with those super long legs. It's like a clear, undeniable signature of evolution doing its thing.
So this begs a huge question, right? Just how long have these spiders been down there, cut off from the rest of the world? Well, the paper estimated that these particular spider families could be up to, get this, 3 million years old. They've been living in these isolated, unchanging worlds since long, long before we humans ever showed up.
Okay, let's take a breath. We started with modern farming, jumped back 50 years to look at an old map, and then we went deep underground to hang out with ancient blind spiders. It's been a journey. But now it's time to connect all those dots. Let's bring the cave back up to the canopy.
Which brings us right back to that riddle from the beginning. We have all the pieces on the board now, so what on earth does a blind spider, documented in an old journal, have to do with a farmer's future in Papua New Guinea?
The answer is actually incredibly simple, but it's also really profound. These spiders aren't just some weird curiosity. They are living records of deep time.
So what does that even mean, a living record? Well, it means that a troglobite is way more than just an animal. It's what scientists call a bioindicator. See, a creature that's this specialized, this extreme, can only exist in a place that has been unbelievably stable for millions of years. If you find one, it's living proof that the geology and the climate of that exact spot haven't changed. It tells you a story about the land's deep history that you just can't see from the surface.
And that knowledge, that changes everything. You know, typical planning might look at last year's weather or the soil quality right now, but when you plan with this kind of deep knowledge, when you know which parts of the landscape have been safe, stable havens for millions of years, you can make radically smarter, more resilient choices. You stop planning just for the next harvest, and you start planning for the next 100 years.
And that really gets us to the heart of it all. Think about it. The work of a biologist in 1973 studying spiders, and a geographer in 1974 making a map, that became the essential foundation for someone in 2024 trying to build a better future. It really drives home this one powerful idea. To manage the future, you absolutely have to understand the past, even the parts you can't see.
And all this leaves you with one last kind of mind-blowing question. I mean, the connection between the spider and the farmer, that was not obvious at all. Someone had to connect the dots across 50 years and totally different fields of science. So it just makes you wonder, what other secrets that are absolutely crucial for our future, are just sitting there, hidden away in old maps, dusty journals, and in the most overlooked corners of our planet, just waiting for somebody to find them?